Maybe it's just an easy way of disposal, not quite certain. Maybe it's an accident, but some of the things that we've seen in the, that we've found in there, not quite certain how it can be an accident.
A toilet has powerful drainage, making it tempting to use it like our own personal trash transporter. Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Today, the city of Fargo reminded people that toilets are not meant to be used as trash cans after this Fargo lift station pump was found completely covered with debris that was flushed down the toilet.
Valley News Team's Jeyapaul Simic tells us how everyday items can cause messy and expensive problems for your plumbing and our sewer treatment facilities.
It might be easy to get rid of garbage by throwing it in the toilet and flushing. But the city of Fargo says it's a bad idea.
It gets stuck either in the toilet, depending on how old the toilet is. It can corrode inside the P-trap of the toilet. Also, it can get stuck inside the sewer.
Plumbers like Brandon Comet get calls about inappropriate items being flushed down the toilet 6 to 8 times a week.
Depending on the condition of your sewer pipe, can clog up fairly quick, or could take a week before you notice it backing up into your floor drains and bathrooms in the basement.
Depending on the damage, the cost to fix a problem can get pricey.
It can vary. It can be from $100 to $300 or even more, just depending on where the problem lies, if it's in the toilet or if it is in the main sewer of the house.
If you are plugging up your own service line, you run the risk of sewer backup in your own home. Not only causing problems for city and city equipment and that type of deal, but also you run the risk of creating problems for your own basement.
And you'd be surprised with what employees at the wastewater treatment plant have found in sewer pipes.
Actually, golf balls, baseballs, underwear, pool balls, you name it, we find it in there, even cash.
The city says items like pads, cleaning sponges, baby wipes, and even hair should not be flushed, because it can lead to sanitary sewer backups or overflows. If there is a pump problem, they must be cleaned by hand to prevent pump failures.
There are instances to where maybe we spend 20 to 25 hours a week in man hours just unplugging pumps and doing maintenance on these items.
So next time, remember this before you flush.
I'd recommend not to flush anything down the toilet unless it's toilet paper. Even if it says it's biodegradable, it can take, months, if not longer, for that stuff to actually dissolve.
In Fargo, Jeyapaul Simic, Valley News Live. The city of Fargo also says items that are labeled flushable should not be flushed because they still take a long time to dissolve.
Authorities have recovered the sunken boat of a man who was pulled from the Rainy River near Baudette, Minnesota last week. Sonar was used to find the boat, and it was then pulled from 24 feet of water. There's still no official cause of death for 52-year-old John Stiglitz of Shoreview, Minnesota. He was the CEO and president of Cerdan Health Systems and Consulting out of St. Paul. The sheriff's department says the investigation into his death remains open pending a final autopsy report.
The gunman in a strong-armed robbery at the Taco John's in South Fargo now admits he did it. Carl Smith pleaded guilty to 2 counts for his role in robbing the Taco John's on 32nd Avenue. It happened last September, and Smith was one of several individuals who robbed the restaurant. As the Taco John's was closing, Smith fired 2 shots, hitting an employee in the leg.
A federal lawsuit has been filed against a diocese in India after a priest who was convicted of sexually assaulting a Minnesota teen was reinstated to his job. Father Joseph Jeyapaul was suspended in 2010 after he was charged with abusing a teenage girl in Greenbush, Minnesota in 2004. The survivor filed the lawsuit. Pope Francis, however, lifted his suspension so he could return to ministry, and that led to protests in the Crookston area. Jeyapaul was extradited to the United States after fleeing to India. He was convicted last year.
A former school superintendent from Sawyer, North Dakota, just 20 minutes southeast of Minot, who's accused of having inappropriate relationships with teenage boys, has struck a deal and will avoid a trial. 51-year-old Charles Soper could face as many as 35 years in prison. As part of the deal, the state dropped a human trafficking charge against Soper. In exchange, he pleaded guilty to 6 separate charges, including gross sexual imposition. Soper would agree to a 50-year sentence on that charge, with 15 suspended. In court today, Soper denied meeting with one victim 11 times and claimed the boys told him they were 18. Soper must register as an offender.
A fatal overdose this weekend in Fargo. In Moorhead, someone else overdosing was saved. And we've uncovered from where some of the drugs are flowing into our community. Police say that Mexican drug cartels are operating right here in the FM Metro, bringing with them meth, heroin, fentanyl, and other drugs well over 1,000 miles north to make a profit. West Fargo's Police Chief Mike Wrighton says with the oil slowdown in the western part of the state, the attention turned east to Fargo-Moorhead's fat wallets.
We're on the interstate system, so transportation is relatively easy to our area. We're not far from the Minneapolis area or even Chicago for that matter.
Fargo police say the same thing. They're seeing greater numbers of drugs coming from south of the border. Well, as expected, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are your winners in today's New York primary. Both worked hard in the Empire State. Taking a look at the latest numbers at the Republican percentages, Trump attracting 60%, John Kasich with 25%, and Ted Cruz 15%. 95 delegates were up for grabs. For the Democrats, Hillary Clinton scored 58%, Bernie Sanders 42%. The two were vying for 247 delegates.
Food not being labeled correctly and employees not having a clean place to wash their hands. Those issues indicate it's Tuesday and time for another restaurant report card. Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker takes us to two Fargo restaurants that share a name but have different health inspection reports.
It's a tale of two Romos where one invited us in and chatted with us and the other never got back to us. On 13th Avenue South in Fargo, Romo's Mexican Cuisine's latest health inspection report cited 3 violations. 2 were critical. They involved employees not having adequate access or supplies to wash their hands, and their chemical sanitizer was not at proper levels to sanitize effectively. We're still waiting to hear back from the manager. The Romo's on 19th Avenue in North Fargo receives our Clean Plate Award. The manager tells us how they maintain violation-free inspection reports.
Overall, it's just that we tend to have a lot of spare time to get a lot of cleaning done in here. Usually in the middle of the afternoon between, I'd say, 2 p.m. and 5 p.m.
One customer says he's not surprised this restaurant received this award.
The cleanliness is a big thing because I actually got food poisoning a handful of times from Juano's, but I haven't had a single bad reaction to any of the food here. So I can eat here and not spend the rest of the afternoon with a stomach cramp.
And for the customers who choose to continually eat at this location, the manager has something to say to you.
I really want them to be kind of proud that they picked this location to come in and eat, and hope they kind of keep it regular.
For Restaurant Report Card, I'm Cornelius Hawker.
Do you think we should check out some restaurants in your city? If so, go to our Facebook page or send us a message with the restaurant's name. We will pull their latest inspection report, and you might see them on future editions of Restaurant Report Card. And speaking of Facebook, remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day.